Hi everybody, this is Ravi from Precision Academy. Today I am going to talk about historic development of environment related conventions and starting of organizations internationally for the past 50 years. So 50 years back, humans understood that there is something wrong going on in the environment and it will affect us. So that's when they started thinking about it. So I would like to run through all these developments, and it's a just bird's eye view, and later I will be giving you detailed information in some other session, taking up like few organizations or few conventions at a time. But right now just I will run through these organizations. So 1942 International Whaling Commission. So it's about regulation of whaling. Whaling means catching whales for commercial purposes. So in 1948 International Union for Conservation of Nature, this is a really important organization, IUCN. Even now it's doing a really useful work, like they have a red book. So you must have already heard about like some species is vulnerable, some species is endangered or critically endangered. Who decides on that, like who publishes that? That is this organization, IUCN. So whichever one in blue, these are really important. Even now they are contributing to the environment. So 51, 52 International Plant Protection Convention. So for some organizations I am giving 2 years. One is the year when it was put forward for signing, and for example here 51 IPPC, International Plant Protection Convention, was open for signing. So organization, the countries came forward and signed, and then it came into force in 52. It takes some time. So 68 International Conference for Rational Use of Conservation and Conservation of Biosphere. So UNESCO has conducted a conference. It's a conference, it's not an organization, it's a conference. So first time in 1968 they started thinking about like how to rationally use the resources, the biospheres, and conserve them. And then first organization to come up with some kind of definite program work is Ramsar Convention. Even today this is really important convention, and there is it's about wetlands. So on wetlands, even 10 new wetlands were recognized recently in India. So this is what they do, they recognize as international wetlands of international importance. That is main work of this organization. And then comes the Stockholm Conference. This is the game changer. So it happened in 1972, Conference on Human Environment, that is a conference. And then they formed UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. And then Indira Gandhi attended this conference, and then she came back. She did a lot in the field of environment in India. In the last slide I am going to explain briefly the impact of Stockholm Conference on India and contribution of Indira Gandhi. That is what I am going to just explain in the end. So in 1972 Convention concerning the protection of world cultural and natural heritage by UNESCO. You must be hearing like Hampi is a world heritage site, something like that. So we also have, they also release natural heritage sites, not just historic cultural sites. They also released the list of natural heritage sites. So some biospheres are like so Kaziranga National Park, or some they try to pick up the natural heritage sites. This is also heritage, right? So 1973-75 Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna sites. This is also really important. So what you need to do is, so in exams they just say sites. If you know the expansion of it, you can guess part of the 50% of the answer is done. So you need to know convention. Sites is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. You will be understanding by the name of it that there are some endangered species. Trade is going on in this endangered species of wild flora and fauna. So sites try to identify and bring it to the notice of authorities. So this is what they do, that is sites. And then traffic, like human trafficking, there is trafficking even in animals, wildlife. So if you know the expansion again here, you will understand what it is. Trade related analysis of fauna and flora. So it's about trade of wildlife. Some restrictions are like, so it's about the trade of wildlife. Conference on desertification. There were couple of other conferences also. This is the first one, 1977, and then CMS. This is also very important convention on migratory species of world animals, migratory species. So we keep hearing about migratory birds coming from Russia to India or to China. So these are the migratory birds we talk about. So this is the organization CMS. Recently convention of this organization happened in Gandhinagar, India in 2020. So 1979 Convention on Long Range Transboundary Air Pollution. So transboundary air pollution. So across the countries boundaries air pollution is happening. So we need cooperation between the nations to handle this. In 1980 World Conservation Strategy was released. In 1982 Nairobi Declaration, creation of special commission. So this is what they suggested, to create a special commission. So it is 10 years of Stockholm. Stockholm is so important, I told you. It was the starting point when humans understood the need to conserve the nation. So UNEP was started. So 10 years happened. So in 1982 they had another declaration called Nairobi Declaration. 1982 World Charter of Nature was released. Then 82 United Nations Convention on the Laws of Sea. So laws on the sea, United Nations Convention happened here, 82. 84 International Conference on Environment and Economics. So these two, so the pitfall till such time, till 1984 is they were only focusing on environment. So we need to protect. So after that they started understanding the conflict between economics and environment. So human beings are exploiting resources, maximization of exploitation of natural resources is the focus of economics. So here we have to preserve the environment. So how to find a balance? That's what they were trying to achieve in 1984. Even today we don't know how to do that. 1985 Vienna Convention on Ozone Layer. We start hearing about this ozone layer. Ozone layer hole was found, and then they started having a convention that is called Vienna Convention. And then 2 years later there was another convention like Montreal Protocol for Ozone Depleting Substances, ODS. So chlorofluorocarbons coming from refrigeration mainly, they were going to the upper layers of atmosphere, and then they were responsible for the ozone layer depletion. So what are the substances, ODS substances they identified? They started giving instructions on how to control them. So in 1988, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, this is important organization, Intergovernmental Panel. So they started talking about climate change. So climate is getting affected. Initially they understood so importance of Ramsar like wetlands, and then the preservation of nature, biodiversity. Now they are talking about climate change. So here ozone layer. So Ramsar sites, biodiversity, ozone layer, now climate change. That's how slowly it's evolving. So the break point started coming in multiple directions in the environment. So we started seeing the wildlife getting reduced, and then wetlands getting disappeared, and then ozone layer there was a hole, and then we started seeing the change in the climate, so like global warming, and then so they started observing. So environment is breaking in multiple directions. That's what is happening. It's not just at one point, one indicator, multiple indicators. So this global change is happening. People started talking about it. So and then one more declaration like Helsinki Declaration, protection of the ozone layer. So ozone layer became a big issue. And then 1989 Basel Convention on Hazardous Waste. So it's Africa has become a dumping ground for the developed countries to throw the hazardous waste. So something like that. So they have all the waste, they take it in a ship and then they throw in some poor country. So we started talking about like Basel Convention is the one which started restricting this kind of stuff. So Rio Earth Summit, this is also a game changing summit. The United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, started here in 1992. So this is a conference. This is called Earth Summit or Rio Earth Summit. And then Global Environment Facility. World Bank has started something called Global Environment Facility with $1 billion fund. It's a pilot project started. They started funding to the organizations to protect the environment. In 92, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So I said in the last slide, we started, like international community started getting worried about climate change. It culminated in starting an organization called UNFCCC. This is really important organization. Every year they have conventions and then COPs, and they take important decisions. Most of the countries are part of it. So UNFCCC, you hear a lot about it. So this is important organization for environment, 1992. Just remember this. So dates are not that important, but so evolution, so which is before, which is after, in which range, in 1990s it started, something like that. You need to have that understanding. 92, 93, that means open for signature and then came into effect. Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD. So it had multiple conventions, COPs, and then one of the COPs 2003 Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety. So for biosafety there was a protocol, and then 2010 is another important COP, that is Nagoya Protocol on access and benefit sharing between the countries. Whatever benefits are there, that should be shared. That is relating to biodiversity. And then 93 we had UN Commission on Sustainable Development. So, we start hearing about sustainable development. Few years back there was a thought on like economics and environment balance. Now we from 1993, so we started talking about sustainable development should be sustainable. So, it should not be there only for 50 years and then get exhausted, something like in Gulf countries. Once the petroleum resources are over, what will be their future? So, is it sustainable to just depend on petroleum, something like that. So, we need to think about long term future and sustain this development models will be sustainable. So, we started talking about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, that started evolving in 1993. UN Convention on Desertification, I said there was one convention, now this is the second one, important one on the desertification. And 95, the first conference of parties COP of UNFCCC. This UNFCCC we keep hearing about them. So, first one started in 95. So, 97, Kyoto Protocol to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So, we start UNFCCC. After that we started talking about greenhouse gases and global warming. This is the most important issue even for India. When there is climate change, so somebody is responsible, for example Amazon green forest are depleting, or like US is using huge amount of energy resources, and that is why so CO2 emissions are happening, and China is contributing to lot of CO2 emissions, and because of that the monsoon gets affected. So, it affects us very, very badly. We are dependent on these monsoons. So, greenhouse gas emissions and that Kyoto Protocol, it is all global village. One something happens in some part, everybody gets affected. Just for example, this COVID-19. So, it starts somewhere, entire world gets affected. Similarly, environmentally, if we damage at some place, other places also gets affected. So, 2000 Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, POPs, Persistent Organic Pollutants. This is the next problem that we means the international community started handling, that is in 2000 Stockholm Convention on POPs. 2002 Johannesburg Declaration on Sustainable Development. So, we start hearing more on this sustainable development now. So, 2005 UN Summit Millennium Development Goals. So, this new millennium, so they started talking about what are the development goals. So, balancing environment, that is what is part of it. And then 2008 we have this UN RED. So, you need to understand the expansion of it, United Nations Program on reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. These emissions part we are talking only about deforestation and forest degradations. So, we need to stop this deforestation and degradation. And then there is something called RED plus. This is from the perspective of developing countries. Developing countries have cannot stop that development. So, some special permissions for them because poverty is also an important factor we need to take into account. So, this RED plus is helping the developing countries in this perspective, that is RED plus something, that is here. So, Bali Summit on Climate Change 2007. So, lot of summits and conventions. So, Bali Summit also took important decisions, and 2010 Global Green Growth Summit, it happened in Seoul, like with the initiative of South Korea. They also do some kind of activity in India. 2011 Economics of Ecosystem and Biodiversity. This is, I talked about the balance of economy, environment, and then sustainable development goals. Here TEEB is an organization which calculates, converts. Otherwise, the thinking was before this 2011 that we are trying to help this species to survive. So, we do not need to, but we are doing it out of our goodness. That was the thought process. Now, we started thinking about it is almost $2 trillion worth every year. So, in two ways. So, one is directly it benefits, for example, the medicinal plants. So, that helps us. That's worth something in the market. Similarly, if you do not have the forest, the global warming happens and then more air conditioning is required, or air is polluted, you have a lot of diseases, and so what is the loss if we do not have the environment? So, what is the gain if you have the environment? Like that they calculate. So, it is interesting calculation. When you find time, try to look into this TEEB website, then you will understand more. So, in 2013 Biocarbon Fund initiative. So, sustainable forest landscapes, this one initiative has come from World Bank. 2013 open for signature, 17 came into effect Minamata Convention on Mercury. So, mercury usage, you might have already observed, we do not find the mercury thermometers now. So, it is all digital because mercury damages environment and also human health. So, 2014 World Nature Organization, WNO. So, this is for this is mainly the concern of countries like Maldives, which may disappear after some time because of rising sea levels. So, this is an initiative for that World Nature Organization. 2016 we had very important Paris Agreement on reducing the emissions, carbon dioxide and this kind of gases, and then this is called COP21 United Nations Framework. So, but this one is a historic agreement, but unfortunately 2017, so world's number one rogue Trump declared that they are going to withdraw from this Paris Agreement, America first. So, they want to ignore about the world in the interest of their own country. That is what he said. Very unfortunate development happened in 2017. So, I am going to ask you one question. So, you heard about what is happening over the past 50 years. Do you think is the international community doing enough? Just think about it. So many things are. So, in spite of all these organizations, everything, why so many species are getting extinct? So, why the population of the species have coming down drastically, and why globe has become so hot? Why glaciers are melting? So, are we able to have real impact? Are we safe now? Will there be human race after 50 or 100 years? So, how serious it will be? So, that if we think about it, my personal opinion is right now world leaders are focusing only on the symptoms, not on the core problem. There is a core problem. Can you tell me what is the core problem? Core problem is two-pronged. That is, core problem is consumerism. That is one core problem, and then population. population explosion. So, these are two core problems. The problem is, if we have more population, see if it's growing. So, India's population is 130 crores. So, initially some 10 crores were there, like, or 60 crores were there. Now 130 crores. So, 60 crores were using the same resources. For example, you have a house, you have a family of 4, and then it becomes family of 8. So, 1 bedroom, like 3 bedroom house is there, family of 4. So, each one will have a bedroom, or they will have comfortable 3 bathrooms, and then family of 8, then family of 16, family of 34. So, it becomes so crowded, they cannot use it properly. They started overusing it, exploiting it, they destroy it. So, it becomes so difficult. So, that is what is happening with population. So, we need to control this population. The world has to focus on controlling population. And then consumerism. So, per head, for example, one person, one pair of shoes or chappal. Then one person is having 16 pairs, or one person having 10 dresses, and then he started having a big wardrobe of 100 dresses. So, whether you need it or not, so impulsive buying, so much of energy consumed per capita in developed countries. So, per capita consumption, this is exploding. In the interest of economy, we push this consumption to the higher levels. So, that is another issue. So, unless we control these two issues, there is no point we try to conserve some couple of species. It does not help, their habitat is lost. So, we need to focus on consumerism and population control. No organization, nothing is focusing on these two core. We should have a convention on consumerism. Containing consumerism should be the focus, and then containing population in the world should be the focus. If we do these two, and then we will have the proper environment. Now, I conclude this session by talking about Indira Gandhi, most dynamic lady ever India has seen. See how she loved these tigers and how courageously she is sitting with it. So, she started 1972, she went to that Stockholm, and then she enacted Wildlife Protection Act in India. She was this is one of the countries which came forward in the early days when no other country were really worried about the wildlife. She enacted Wildlife Protection Act, then started Project Tiger in 1973. That is why we still have these tigers now. So, otherwise they would have become extinct from India. Then water, so she started thinking about the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. So, Forest Conservation Act 1980. She even tried to control the population. So, Sanjay Gandhi was so aggressively promoting the family planning. That was one of the reasons for her election debacle. And then air pollution also she enacted. So, Air Pollution Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. So, I am talking about world leaders. Very few world leaders attended that Stockholm, and she was the one. She made an impact, and then she has shown it in action in India in the acts. So, whether the international community is asking or not, she started controlling this misuse of the environment. And then what Secretary General Maurice Strong talked about her speech in this Stockholm Convention. Let me read it and then conclude this session. So, also at the opening session, Prime Minister Gandhi made what was one of the most influential speeches of the entire conference, with its theme that poverty is the greatest polluter of all. Thank you for joining me. I will be explaining some 5 or 10 organizations at a time in next sessions. Meet you again till such time. Bye bye.